if you could have a 3-course meal, what would be the things you have?
I wasn't expecting a 3-course meal. So like appetizer,
entree,
main dish.
Nope. Entrees or main dish would be dessert.
Be dessert. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably for my appetizer would probably be gyoza, like fried gyoza, like chicken or beef gyoza. With like, the little soy sauce thing. Honestly, if I had to pick for my main entree, like be basic over here, like was it a 32-ounce steak? Like 32 ounce.
How much is a pound, friendo?
I don't know. No, like like the big boy steak, like the size of my head. And like with mashed potatoes and like a good macaroni and cheese with bacon crumbs on top.
And even in this fantasy world, still no vegetables. Well, vegetables are hurting people nowadays. I like to make the openings evergreen, but vegetables are hurting people. So maybe you're like, you know what? None of those vegetable stuff. That steak and them taters and the mac and cheese.
And then for my dessert, if I could have it, I would. It would probably.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole hypothetical.
A strawberry, like one of those like Japanese like strawberry cakes, where like it's the strawberries in the middle, like cream, and then bread, and then like it's stacked out. Like,
wait, cream and bread?
Well, but whipped cream, yeah. So it's like the bread, the strawberry, then they put like on top of the strawberries, they put like the whipped cream, they put another layer of bread, and then they put like strawberries, cream, layer of bread.
Okay.
So one of that would be top notch.
Hello, pioneers, and welcome to Missing the Wagon, a pop culture review podcast. My name is Samuel, and with me today is my co-host Miri. How are you doing today, Miri?
Hi, guys. Doing well.
Before I go any further, I'm going to do a thing I never do, and I'm going to advertise our other parts of the podcast, because you can find the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcast at Missing the Wagon, spelled out the way I'm saying it. And you can also find us on Instagram as the same thing. I realized after I listened to all other 12 episodes, I don't advertise the podcast at all. I literally I'm like, hey, they see the name. So you know what? Maybe it'll be easier for people to find the podcast if I say it. So MissingTheWagon. And we're that on across all platforms, except we don't have a Twitter account or Discord or other things. But we do have a Spotify and a YouTube. Yeah. Now, today we are discussing Annie, 1982. Before we go much further, what do you think of Annie or the franchise of Annie?
As a franchise?
Technically, Annie is a Broadway musical, and before it was a musical, it was a comic strip.
Okay, so which one is the one that would come up like at 2:00 in the morning on the TV for commercials of its movies?
Of the movies?
Of like the child actor.
Oh, you mean Shirley Temple? I don't know if Shirley Temple ever played Annie. She is a red-headed young girl, so she could have in the musicals, but that wouldn't surprise me. But no, there is a newer Annie with Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx, because Daddy Warbucks is black in that one, and so is Annie. But Miss Hannigan's still a mean Caucasian lady. Couldn't change that one. So Shirley Temple in a movie.
I lied. Shirley Temple never played as Annie.
Okay. But yeah,
it's just the golden locks that got me.
Nope, definitely a redhead. Annie's a redhead.
The locks are what got me. The locks.
But you never told us, what do you think of Annie?
It was. Sorry, I'm looking at these crazy pictures of the hair. Sorry. It was really cute, very wholesome. I will admit though,
the most wholesome, when a lady bathes in alcohol.
Yeah, that scene was wild.
No, it's a thing talking about a lot of things where it's like there are some adult topics in kids' movies. And it's just like, well, that's wild because you don't even notice or think about it. Like, yeah, Miss Hannigan is just man crazy.
She more than man crazy, bro. Like,
if I think, like, when I look at it, it's just like, yo, Miss Hannigan, I understand. But also, the thing I never understood in the movie, which we'll also get into, is Miss Hannigan doesn't like these kids. Okay. Just get rid of the kids. If you have a good orphanage and you advertise, the kids will be gone.
She need money, bro.
What?
She need money.
That's true, but what do you think people invest in more? An orphanage that looks good, that people are getting kids from, or orphanage that looks run down, that all the girls are just like hoarding it?
She don't know that. She's too busy looking for a man. Yeah, I watched the movie and I wasn't really expecting it to be like. I wasn't expecting to be like full blown out like dance moves and like little tippity taps and like spins and throwing up in the air. Like,
you mean a musical?
Grease didn't even have that.
Didn't have spins and tippy taps?
Not like to that extent.
Okay, what do you mean? Because
like,
Grease definitely did have spins and tippy taps.
I mean, in the aspect of like how here like everybody's kind of like a good portion of like the song when there's like the instrumental is playing or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Like people are just like
yeah.
doing random.
Oh, because like at the end of Grease when they're doing their big we graduated school thing.
That's when everybody starts doing
No. Everyone who's in the like cast does it, but the people at the stalls at Grease are standing stark still.
That's what I'm saying. And then over here, like everybody's dancing.
Yeah. Also, like, unlike Grease, Annie started with the song immediately.
They even have people who are mopping and dancing.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So now we're going to talk about some things that happened on this day during the time that the movie was done. Again, thank you to onthisday.com for the headlines. And now we starting off for December 1982 on December 1st. Tootsie. Tootsie is directed by Sindon Pollack. And it's starring Dustin Hoffman and Jessica Lange. Premieres in Hollywood.
Do you know the movie Tootsie?
I sure don't.
You know, do you know Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yes.
It's Dustin Hoffman would not like me saying that. Mrs. Doubtfire is a more popular Tootsie because I think Mrs. Doubtfire is about Robin Williams dressing up as a woman to try to spend time with his kids. Tootsie is a movie about Dustin Hoffman dressing up as a woman to get a job and learning empathy and how things can be hard for a woman in the 80s. Oh, and it's a romantic comedy. So this man dresses up as a woman to get with a woman, and that sounds about right for an 80s movie.
All right, well, let's go. On December 8th, Nobel Peace Prize in Literature, Colombian writer Gabriel Garcia Marquez receives the Nobel Prize of Literature.
Now, I don't know much of Mr. Marquez's writing, but hey, that's an accomplishment in itself to win a Nobel Prize for Literature. Also on December 8th, Sophie's Choice came out, directed by Alan J. Pakula, and based on William Steight's 1979 novel, starring Meryl Streep and Kevin Kline. Oh, Kevin Kline was he was one of the guys in Wild Wild West.
Not the ice cream bar? Okay, maybe I'm confusing it with the perfume.
Oh, yeah, Calvin Klein. But yeah, Kevin Kline was a very popular actor for a good amount of time. Then, on December 12th, $9.8 million in cash was stolen from a money transfer car in NYC. Now, did you know anything about this?
No.
Oh, man, this story is really good to me. Because when I saw it, I was like, there's no links on This Day. Because On This Day has so many links to people's names and stuff that happens. And there's no links. So I just have to go look it up myself like a real journalist.
That's what I have to do every time when I look up these things.
Yes, I understand. You're like a real journalist, too.
Ew.
You don't like journalism and the journalistic integrity?
Sure.
You don't? Sure, yes or sure? Hey, I'm done with this questioning. What is this, the third degree? On December 12th of 1982, thieves pulled off the largest cash heist in U.S. history at the time by stealing an estimated $11 million from the Century Armored Car Carrier Co. in Bronx, New York. The robbery was immediately classified as an inside job as the bandits knew the layout perfectly and bypassed, they knew the dead spots of the cameras, they knew the codes to all the doors, So, like, they legit got everything done.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Someone really said, man, this is it. This is my time.
Well, it's like, but imagine, like, $9.8 million is still a lot of money, but imagine how much $9.8 million is back in the 80s. I'm like, that's...
Back in the 80s, you could buy a lot of stuff for $10.
You can buy a lot of stuff for $1 million. The scale and the meticulous nature of it, the FBI were like, hey, this has to be an inside job, so they started investigating it. So 2 armed men masked with cut a hole in the roof of the armored vehicle, dropped down and handcuffed the one security guard that was watching it, and turned all the security cameras.
Oh.
Yeah, despite the arrests, only a fraction of the $11 million was ever recovered.
A fraction?
Yeah, I think, looking it up, there's, because once again, some people say they stole, like, 7 million, some say 11 million, but, like, so 9.8 is what people typically agree on, but I think the police or the authorities only found 900,000.
How? How do they find this?
How did they find 900,000?
Yeah.
Well, they arrested the people.
Well,
Like, they arrested some people, and then, but yeah, they didn't find, if they stole 9.8 million and they only found 900,000, that means there's still 8.9 million just bebopping around they couldn't find.
or it's just recycling itself.
Maybe.
I just don't know.
But yeah, they think the mastermind was a former security guard of the company, Christoph Padamidas. They think he orchestrated it. He reported being assaulted, but was later arrested in Puerto Rico when the FBI unraveled his plot. So my man got his money. He's like, I think it's time for a trip, and he fled the country, not think about anything else. And I was like, man, that's wild.
He didn't even think, man, let me just wait till investigations are done.
No. He's like, none of that stuff. We got to spend this money. They can't get me if I'm not in the country. And I'm like, you understand, Puerto Rico's part of the country, my man.
All right. So for our final day of December 1983?
1982.
82. So yeah, on December 26th, Times Men of the Year is a computer. A computer.
I got nothing to say to that, man. You sound so truly sad. That time was like, computers, bro. Man of the Year is a computer.
Wow, what did the computer do during that time? That it was like, man, we gotta recognize technology, but here we are. By the way, just looked it up here with my co-host. Apparently, it was a very groundbreaking decision, marked by the very first time in awards history. It just say it, because I'm so flabbergasted.
Computers went from being something that big time companies could use to being personal computers and being in people's homes and small businesses. So they felt the effect of the computer and how it was affecting things worldwide was big enough to be like, oh hey, this is the first time we're giving an award to a non-human. Well, yeah, that's about it.
Still computers.
And that was the news from 1982 December. And now, time for one of my favorite segments, the MTW Draft. This week we are doing Annie. So I thought, what better draft than an adoptive family? Disclaimer, for all people that are part of my family that hear this isn't me saying I want this instead of you.
I just realized that.
This is me saying I think this would be a pretty neat family setup.
I just realized that. Oh.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we have families that exist. But yeah, this isn't me being like, I want this better than you. It's just me being like, I think this would be a pretty neat family dynamic.
I just want to let everybody know all of my characters are animated. Or anime characters.
Okay, do you want to go first?
You can go first.
I can go first?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my first pick would be Philip Banks from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You don't know who that is.
The uncle?
Uncle Phil, yes.
Oh, yeah, I know someone.
You did it.
Woo!
But yeah, Uncle Phil would be my first choice for the dad slot. I believe he's very hard on Will at points, but he's hard on Will because he sees Will's potential and is willing to help Will grow, be a better person. There are times Phil is wrong, but Phil usually admits when he's wrong. And so that, like, hey, I know lots of humans who are twice my age who can't admit when they're wrong, and I don't know how they got through life. So for me, I think a great dad would be a man that's right there beside you, that's willing to, like, I'm going to listen, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be able to talk to you.
All right, for me, you just saw my phone, so I'm pretty sure you know. But for me, it's Lloyd from Spy Family.
When did he leave? When did he leave?
When did he leave?
Well, because this is for a mission.
Yeah, but like you're like if you read the manga, you're starting to realize that like he doesn't like he doesn't want to leave.
Okay.
He doesn't like, and he's genuinely starting to care for like I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm gonna leave it to the fans out there for Lloyd, the ship for Lloyd and Yor. I haven't really looked into their relationship like that. Actually, I'm not that far to see if like Yor likes him. I've seen some stuff like on there, but I feel like he does genuinely care about Yor. But then he also, you can tell that he's really starting to care a lot for Anya.
Mm-hmm.
So
like a good father.
Yeah. So like, and then the way the reason why is because like I mean, can you imagine like for the mission he would rent a castle for you.
Oh yeah, he did do that. Yeah.
So if Annie's like, oh, I've never had this, then Lloyd's gonna be like, all right, for the mission.
Because I was gonna say Annie lives in Great Depression time, so I was gonna be like, would she like? Well, because Anya doesn't know that they're at war. Like she doesn't know they're at a Cold War, so Annie probably wouldn't know either. So yeah, that is a good choice. My second choice is Edith Bunker from All in the Family. Yes, I know you don't know All in the Family. All in the Family is a revolutionary show, and I'm saying this to the fans as well. You should watch All in the Family. All in the Family has Archie Bunker as the lead. He is a very, very bigoted, racist man, and every episode is literally Archie getting his comeuppance.
Archie, like
Archie Bunker. Yeah, that's his name. Like Archibald Bunker. That's his real name. Yeah.
The Adventures of Archie. No,
the Avengers. No, he's not Archie from Archie Comics. It's just he's a racist man. He's a racist bigot man who's the lead of the show, and like literally every episode is just him getting comeuppance for stuff. But Edith is his very, very goofy wife who talks in like a very falsetto voice, which I don't know if that's that lady's real voice or not. But whenever Archie goes too far or does something wrong, Edith like switches gears into being very serious, and she calls Archie out for doing the wrong thing and like tells him to do the right thing. And I think a phenomenal balance to Phil, because Phil, if you've seen Fresh Prince, Phil goes too far sometimes. So there will be a person there that's like, hey, you're going too far. You need to stop that now. We're not doing that anymore. But yeah, Edith, phenomenal cook, nice person, very open and accepting and very understanding, and very willing to look her husband in the face and say, hey, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing that. That's not okay.
So my option is Kyoko from Fruit Basket's Toru's mom.
I don't know Fruit Basket. I know people in high school that read it, but I don't know.
So the reason why I chose Kyoko was because like she's also very like nurturing towards Toru. Like she protects Toru as much as like she's a mom. She protects her kid.
She's with Toru.
What?
I was looking at the sound wave, so I was like talking like this, and then.
There's that, and then she's also really firm. So I feel like when Lloyd kind of starts like going a little bit for the mission, that's when she'll be chiming in and be like, hey, you gotta calm down. We gotta like focus on this. So while Kyoko is also very like motherly and like she's very chill, like she in Fruit Baskets, like she really loves Toru. She really cherishes Toru's like small amount of friends that she has and everything. But she's also very like when things hit the fan, like she gets it done.
Okay.
So which I also feel like Annie needs something like that in her life too.
Okay. Well, I have two good choices, but I don't know which one I wanted to do. I don't know. I think both would be cool. I'm gonna go with my second choice. I'm gonna go with Luigi Mario from the Mario series.
Really?
Yeah. I think Luigi is a phenomenal brother. The worst thing about Luigi is that one Game Boy Advance game where he gets hypnotized and he turns evil. And he's like, you're mean to me, Mario, and I'm going to take everything that's yours. But that's literally only because Mario's rude to Luigi all the time in the games. It's like when if you're Luigi in one of the tennis games, Mario gives you the trophy, then he steps on your foot and looks you in the eye as his brother and like rubs his foot on your foot as he steps on it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. But Luigi's like, not only is he always there for his brother, not only is he always going on these adventures and being like, hey, don't worry, I got your back. Like, he's just a good brother typically. Like, so I think Luigi was. I think he'd be a phenomenal brother. Like, he's always got your back. He's always there and willing to go on any adventure that you want to go on.
So for me, I was stuck between two, and one of them was from, Midoriya from My Hero Academia. But I think...
Your brother's going to cry every day.
He sure is. But I think I'm going to go with Sasaki from Sasaki Reawakened, which is another anime, which I keep telling Samuel that I feel he would love this one because he likes a whole bunch of nonsense, and that's what this anime is, a whole bunch of nonsense. But Sasaki is basically a high schooler who has, like, really insane, like, telekinesis, psychic powers. So
I think telekinesis, unless he has
he has psychic powers. He has like a whole bunch of stuff. Like,
okay.
You have to watch the anime.
Okay.
But I feel like he would make a cool brother because he would probably give her anything and everything just so he can be left alone. So, like, if she's like, oh, let's do this, he'd be like, oh, I'll just make myself look here, but in reality, I'm going to be in my room.
Mm-hmm.
But she's going to be thinking she's down there with me. So he's going to, like, just give her so many things just for be like, I need to be left alone.
But that just seems mean. This seems like a mean brother.
But she has, like, she doesn't know that. She doesn't like, cause like he's literally like like he's making it look like where she is, like he's using his telekinesis power. Like he is really sweet though.
Okay. Once again, I haven't watched the show, so all I heard is when I want to be alone, I'm gonna bamboozle a person I love to make sure that I can be alone.
Knowing Annie, she'd probably find him, and then he'd probably just be like, all right, this is it.
For the sister pick, I chose Luisa Madrigal from Encanto. Because I think she's a phenomenal sister. I do think she's giving herself massive amounts of anxiety for trying to take on every burden. But also, with the rest of the family here, I don't think there are many burdens for her to take on. So then...
Not in this family.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. In this adoptive family we're creating, there's not much stress and problems and worry. Because like Philip Banks in Fresh Prince, they already live in a mansion in... not West Philadelphia, in California. Eve is a nice, understanding mother, so like if Louisa ever feels a certain way, she can very easily talk to either one of her parents. And then Luigi is hyper supportive too, so Louisa doesn't have to feel like she has to carry things by herself. So I'm like, Louisa Madrigal. Also, the older you get, the less, my Bim Bam said it once, where Travis was like, I pick up my kids and take them to bed and tuck them in. Where's the 12-foot man that picks me up and takes me to bed and whatever? And like Louisa, I think she's taller than me. I haven't looked up her height, but I think she's taller than me. And she's super strong, so I'm like, hey Louisa, I'm tired. And she could like pick me up and take me to bed and whatever.
Mine was very simple. Mine was Marin from my darling dress up. My dress up darling.
My darling dress up.
My darling dress up. I don't know, she's just really cool. She seems really sweet. She's very open-minded. She really likes when people, like, she encourages people to be who they are and what they really like. And she's a really big cosplayer, so Annie would love that.
I think she's an average-sized cosplayer, but yeah.
Really?
No, because she's an average-sized person. That's that's not, once again, not a good joke. It's just a joke I mean.
But yeah, I feel like Marin would be a really great sister because she'd probably be encouraging Annie to be singing and like singing with her and like dressing her up and stuff like that. So
now the last one is hard for me to choose too.
I did not know what to pick, so I just chose a random.
See, I'm tossed up because I haven't watched one of these. I haven't watched in a long time, and the other one. If these things exist in this world, that's a lot of problems. But I chose Babe the Pig for the pet slap for the draft because I think Babe is 1, a very good movie. 2, I have not seen it in years. But I think 3, Babe is a very good pet. I think Babe goes above and beyond. It's like those pets on Homeward Bound. They get like left across the country and they make a cross-country trek to get back to their owners. But yeah, I think Babe is like that. But I think the only thing I remember from Babe, and this is not a joke.
Charlotte dies.
That's definitely Charlotte's Web. Wilbur lives, Charlotte does die. I'm trying to think. The guy who plays the farmer that says, "That'll do, pig," glued his hand to a Starbucks counter to protest the upcharge for like soy milk and lactose-free milk or whatever. I forget his name.
In real life?
Yeah, in real life. But yeah, the guy who played the farmer in Babe glued his hand to a Starbucks counter to protest vegan and vegetarian options being an upcharge. But yeah, I think Babe would be a pretty neat.
That'd be kind of awkward. Your hands glued there, and people are still trying to get their stuff through.
Yeah, but yeah, it's only one hand. It's only one hand, so you could still take pictures and do autographs and whatever.
Okay. Well, mine was Kilala from Inuyasha, because I had no idea what else to pick. So
you had no idea, but Clifford, the big ribbed dog.
I just went to the very first thing in my brain, and it went to Inuyasha with Kilala. It was either that or Shippo, but I don't think Shippo's a pet.
Pal from Arthur.
You keep telling me these things, and I'm
yeah, man. There are a bunch of pets in media.
No, that's what I came in mind. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm just letting you know what it is.
Lassie.
Cool. Again, you keep telling me all these names, and my answer's still the same.
No, I'm not changing your answer. You said you couldn't think of another pet.
Couldn't. Yeah, I'm glad you can. I couldn't.
My brain was gonna say Cleo, but that's the poodle from Clifford. I'm trying to think of a different property.
I should say Rainbow Fish.
That would have been fun.
Throwback to episode whatever.
The very first episode, Jaws, when we did an aquatic creatures draft. I'm glad you don't remember. I fully remember. Yeah, it was that.
That's episode 1?
Yeah, it's episode 1. It was Jaws. It was but yeah, it was aquatic creature
draft. That was
episode
3 or 4.
No. Very first episode we did draft. Yeah, man. Because I think I chose like Megalodon and like other stuff. Oh, I chose a dugong. And then I told you very sad facts about that animal.
I don't want to know about that. I don't want to relearn that fact.
Sorry, you remind me of June from How This Get Made, where June is like, I watch these movies and then I forget them and I go about my life. Because there's like segments where June, Paul, and Jason actively talk about a movie, and June, like, I think they're either on recording or in studio, and she looks them in the eyes like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. I don't remember that movie. That did not happen. And they're like, June, it did happen. We recorded it. It's on recording. And that's the Missing the Wagon draft. Do you think we did all right? Do you think we did poorly? Tell us your picks in the comments. Now, on to the synopsis. For everyone watching along, we watched Annie, 1982, on Tubi. I was very surprised this was on Tubi, but I was quite happy because I didn't feel like paying for this movie.
In 1933, during the Great Depression, a young orphan named Annie is living in the Hudson Street Orphanage in New York City. It is run by Agatha Hannigan, a cruel alcoholic who forces the orphans to clean the building daily. With half of a locket as her only possession, Annie remains optimistic that her parents, who left her at doorstep as a baby, will return for her. One evening, Annie sneaks out with the help of the laundryman, Mr. Bundles, adopting a stray dog which she named Sandy. However, she is escorted back to the orphanage by Weasel, a policeman.
I did not catch the policeman's name was Weasel. That is hilarious. I did catch that the man who does laundry, his name is Mr. Bundles because he bundles clothes. And that bugged me when I saw it. I'm like, it's like a kid made a play, so they just made the names hey, they do this. It would be like if somebody's a carpenter, so they named them Carpet, or they named them like Hammer or something. And I'm like, yo, my man, Mr. Bundles does the laundry. Also, this movie starts off at night.
And a song.
Yeah, a little unlike Grease, which bugged me because 14 minutes of movie and no musical. But Annie literally, like, it fades out and like it's like a night sky and Annie's wistfully looking out of a window singing Tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, this it starts immediately. I'm not mad about that. This is a musical. Don't do that thing that musicals do. Like, have you seen any modern day musicals?
No. I have not watched it at all.
Well, lots of modern day musicals do this thing that I do not like, where the trailer won't have anything that says this is a musical, and then at the end, or like when you get into the movie theater, it's like, we're gonna sing and dance, and it's like, I didn't buy this experience for a sing and dance time. I bought this experience.
Now you did.
Yeah, right, yeah, you're here now.
I can't go back.
Like, I think Wonka did that, where in the beginning, like maybe the first 2 or 3 trailers, Wonka didn't have any singing in it or musicals. And then you get into the theater and it's like, sing and dance time. And it's like, I don't want to sing and dance time.
Is that a sing? Is that a musical?
What's up?
Wonka?
Yeah, the one with Timothy Chalamet.
I don't think I watched that one.
I did not either. I think Keegan-Michael Key's in it. There are people who are famous in it. But yeah, Timothy Chalamet stars in Wonka, and it's a musical.
Never heard of it. I don't think I've seen that one.
And then also there was a Mean Girls musical movie. And because Mean Girls, the first, isn't a musical, people were like, oh, a remake of this is kind of soon, because isn't it like an early 2000s movie? And then it's Mean Girls, the musical. But they didn't tell anyone.
So the thing about the entrance is that, like, Annie is singing Tomorrow, you know, hoping for a new day with, you know, to see her parents, you know. And then, I forgot the other little girl name. I started crying because she was having a nightmare.
And then Annie, the child, had to go comfort the other child, because I have a note that says, seeing a child comfort another child from a dream makes me quite sad.
Yeah, so there's that. And then there was the other girl who was, like, the orphanage bully.
And she gets beat up by other girls, because she should get beat up by other girls.
She stepped on everyone, like, trying to get to Annie's bed where the little girl was. She ended up stepping on everyone along the way, because there was, like, 3-4 beds away from where her bed was, and she ended up stepping, like, a girl's back, her face, and, like, she ended up stepping a lot of them.
Yeah.
So they all ganged up on her and started, like, you know...
Because they should.
Yeah, they started beating her up with the pillows. And
We're not Fuller over here.
And then finally, like, Annie is like, all right, tough him up. Like, those little fist little things. You get messed on with your own size, you know, words. And, yeah. So Miss Hannigan ends up coming in. Like, well, no, she ends up, like, I think they end up going back to bed, and then Annie starts singing a different song.
No, it's a continuation.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a continuation of a song, because it's still tomorrow, and she's talking about how her parents are going to come get her, and they're going to be happy as a family together.
Even if they're straight?
Yeah.
Strict?
Yeah.
Strict, not strict.
Yeah.
Strict.
But yeah, it's just like legit, because once again, it's a sad tomorrow's a sad song. There's a hopeful interlude, or chorus, where she says, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow, or whatever. You're only a day away. But the rest of the song is, I'm very sad. I'm a little child. I want my family that loves me. And that's all the song is. And then the chorus of, tomorrow's going to come. And then it'll be better tomorrow. I'm like, my man, this song is sad. And then I just got done watching you comfort another child that's also in this orphanage, and then fight another kid that's in this orphanage, because they're lashing out when they're sad or whatever. And I'm like, this movie starts off with the music, but it's so sad. And then Carol Burnett shows up, which is I can't lie. It's always a pleasure seeing Carol Burnett in a movie. She's just a funny lady. She's a great actor. Seeing this grown woman, late night, maybe early morning, let's say 1 or 2 a.m., maybe, be like, I've got alcohol, you kids are talking. And I'm like, yo, my man, that's wild.
She comes up saying, is anyone singing? Which is like... So,
which is also funny, because that means in this musical people know when people are singing.
Yeah, like, you're not talking, you're singing.
Yeah.
So, like, she comes and goes, is anyone singing?
Yeah, she's mad at kids for having hope.
And then I think everybody's like, wait, are they in bed when she asked that or something?
Yeah, they're in bed, and she's like, you guys are faking us sleep. And,
but then, so, like, my thing was, like, she could have just woken up that specific room. Yeah. But then she gets mad and she wakes up
every single orphan.
Yeah, every single orphan. Ugh. They're like starting to wash and like scrub and.
Yeah, she makes them. You guys want to get up? So now you're gonna clean the entire orphanage. And I'm like, that's kind of wild, my man. It's like 2 or 3 a.m. Like, if I lived near this orphanage, because if you go outside in the later part of the movie, people are next to this building. I just hear girls clanging buckets and cleaning at like 2 or 3 a.m. I'm trying to sleep for work. I'm trying to get things done. You can't do this later, Miss Hannigan?
No, I've got to do it right now, because your singing woke me up.
Yeah, man, you guys have hope in here. We got to get that out of you.
I got to get that, make sure that hope leaves.
But yeah, and then, like, when they start cleaning, then you get hit with Hard Knock Life.
Dun dun.
What? I thought you were going to do the beat. I'm like, hey, well, YouTube's going to say we can't do that. But yeah, Hard Knock Life is the second movie, and literally the girls... Oh, second movie, I did. Oh, sorry. Is the second song in the movie. And I was like, thank you, musical, for starting off with 2 good songs. But 2, didn't you all just get in trouble for singing? Why are we singing again? And then we're doing, like, choreographed cleaning dancing. And
that's what I'm saying. Grease didn't have that. It didn't have so much choreography.
That's not true. What about the end part where Danny and Sandy are on the I forget what it's called, but it's like a seesaw, but it's not a seesaw because it's like a carnival, and they're dancing and they're shaking their shoulders at each other like this.
That's about it. But like every song is just either Sandy walking, or what's his face walking,
Danny,
or they're in a room just sitting.
Oh yeah, like Beauty School Dropout, where she's having a delusion in the middle of a diner.
In the diner, and then like when they have that second song, when all three or four of them, however many girls of them, are like in whose bathroom?
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, they're in not Frenchie's. They're in, what is the leader of the Pink Ladies name? Rizzo. They're in Rizzo's room. Because Rizzo's making fun of Sandy for not smoking and not drinking.
Yeah, so like all their stuff is like they're just inside. The only place where you can actually see people actually like doing something is probably the first song that they play, and that's when like they're in the like walking through the cafeteria.
Oh, Summer 11, yeah, because Sandy's in the cafeteria, and then the boys are dancing on the bleachers outside the football field.
And then the ending where they're all at the school carnival thing. That's about it. But than that, and every song in this,
yeah, choreography, a bunch of big moving set pieces.
Yeah, like if everybody's dancing, dude. Even if a dog could dance, they put them in the dog dance.
I do not doubt for a second that if they could have choreographed the dog into more things, they definitely would have.
Jeez.
But yeah, so then they get Miss Hannigan after they clean or whatever, and then she catches them singing again. She feeds them.
That's why she didn't like it when they sang the first time because there was hope, but this time they were singing how miserable they are.
Yeah,
which is why she let it happen.
Also, that's not true. She doesn't feed them. In my notes, I have something on here, but it's not that her feeding them. She punishes them for singing again by saying they're gonna have mush, but not hot mush, cold mush. And I'm like, oh, the worst kind of mush. Cool. Then Miss Hannigan sees a man, and she's like, "Oh, a man."
Man, when the term thirsty, she is clenching her thirst, bro.
Oh, quenching.
Sorry, quenching.
She's grabbing hold of that thirst, and she's not letting go.
She is like, oh my, like she's like ready.
Because the first man we see in the movie is Mr. Bundles, which once again is his real name in this movie. And she's like, to every man that comes to the orphanage, she grabs him by the arm and rubs on him.
Like when she was like, her game was strong with Mr. Bundles, mind y'all. Like it was intense.
Yeah.
You know, like
if she is anything, Miss Hannigan's an intense person.
And the thing is, like Mr. Bundles made it sound like it wasn't the first time they've done it.
Well, probably not.
So, like...
You think Hannigan did this once?
No. Okay, at least with Mr. Bundles.
Sorry. Mr. Bundles' name sounds so goofy.
I mean...
Also,
she bundled him, probably.
Do you know what kind of laundry he did?
Blankets.
He did French-style Chinese hand laundry.
That did not look like French style.
That's what it said on the side. On the side of the truck, it said French-style Chinese hand laundry. I'm like, what does that mean? Does that just mean
style?
Yeah, French style Chinese hand laundry. Like what? And then, I had a question because Annie, when she first escaped with Mr. Bundles, why didn't Mr. Bundles take him back to his home? Like, here's a meal, Annie. You go, all that stuff. But like, so Mr. Bundles gets her out of the orphanage because at the end of the cleaning montage, they're throwing sheets and stuff in there. They put Annie in the laundry hamper because this is her MO to escape. And then Mr. Bundles was like, this is heavy. And then one of the girls like punches his arm and be like, shut up. Miss Hannigan's going to figure out Annie's in there. So then Mr. Bundles drives her off and like opens the thing, lets Annie out. And then there's a cop following Annie around. And I was like, once again, I didn't look it up. But I was like, yo, is it a crime during the Depression to be an orphan? Because I don't think it's a crime. Like, if I'm just being as real as possible, I don't think it's a crime to be a child walking around New York. But once again, I don't know. I didn't look up the laws for the 30s.
I think it was just more because, like, I mean, I don't know for a movie aspect, but, like, I feel like during the Great Depression in general, based off on historic events, there was a lot of orphans. Like, there was a lot of orphans in general.
You understand what happened during the Great Depression, right? We don't have to get into it, but a lot of people died.
Yes, which I feel like if he was following her, because he probably wanted to make sure that
the cool lady, Miss Hannigan, got the kid back?
Not particularly Miss Hannigan, but in general.
Okay. hey, this girl needs a roof over her head, so let's take her back there.
But he doesn't know that.
Well, that's true. All he knows is there's a lady who's too touchy-feely with men.
Yeah, and all he knows is that, like, oh, she has an orphanage for kids, for girls in particular.
And then Annie sees boys chasing a dog, and Annie pieces up this kid real nice.
Yeah, real good.
She gives him like a quick 3-piece, and he's like, oh, and runs away. And then the dog follows her, and she's like, you dumb dog, you don't need to follow me. I'm like,
it starts another song.
Well, it is another song, but my point was, so the dog's being chased by like 4 or 5 boys.
Bless.
Annie punches some boy out, and it's like, you guys want some? And they say no and run away.
No. She says, Miss, pick on someone your own size.
Well, yes, but the point that still stands is Annie protects the dog, and the dog is safe. And then Annie's like, why are you following me? I don't got nothing for you. I don't got no food. I'm an orphan. And it's like, hey, Annie, if something was hurting this dog and you chased the thing away that was hurting him, the dog's going to like you, buddy. The dog's going to follow your friend because you've shown that you have the capability to protect him from things. That's how that goes. But Annie's like, you dumb dog. And then, yes, there is a song. Not as good as Hard Knock Life and Tomorrow, but there's a song. And she's like, it's a dog friend. I'm going to have a dog. But it doesn't start off that. It starts off by Annie negging the dog real smooth. Being like, I don't like you, dog. And then at the end, it's like, dog friend. Dun, 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 dog friend. I'm like, yeah, man, you got dog friend, Annie. It sucks because you don't have any food.
And then when she gets taken back to the orphanage,
the dog comes with her.
That comes with her. And she's having, like, her whole orphanage, like, gang trying to guess the name of the dog for her to be like, no.
And then also there's a scene where a dog catcher tries to take the dog because it's like, oh, the dog doesn't have a leash or a collar, so it's like a stray dog. And Annie has to convince the dog catcher that it's her dog. And I'm like, didn't we just say you don't have stuff for a dog? Why are you fighting for this dog? But then she convinces the dog. It's a whole scene. And then she's back in the orphanage. They have a dog now. Don't know why.
She crashes right into
policeman.
Officer,
yeah, Mr. Weasel, we find out.
Police officer's Weezer leg.
And then, like, there's a thing that goes in when she gets taken back by the police officer. Whenever the girls do something bad and Hannigan does not like them, she makes them say, we love you, Miss Hannigan. And I find it to be the creepiest thing in the world for this lady to be like, I don't like kids. And then for her to look at the kids in the face and say, you better tell me you love me. And I'm like, yo, if you don't like the kids, that's fine. But don't force them to say they love you. That's strange. I don't like little girls. So why do you make them all say they love you? Make them say they hate you.
She's the only person she'll hear it from. She ain't gonna find it from men.
That's not true. She could say, could you say you love me, please? But maybe that'd be too forward for the 30s. Grace Farrell, secretary to billionaire Oliver Warbucks, arrives to invite an orphan to live with Warbucks for a week to improve his public image. Annie is chosen, and she and Sandy travel to Warbucks' mansion, meeting his many servants and 2 bodyguards, Punjab and the Asp. Warbucks, at first dismissive of Annie due to her being female, is charmed into letting her stay. He takes Annie and Grace to Radio City Music Hall to watch a movie, Camille, and Warbucks begins to develop affection for Annie. Grace urges him to adopt Annie, and he meets with Miss Hannigan, convincing her to sign the adoption papers.
Man, they miss so much.
Yeah, like once it's a problem we had for a few times where IMDb or Letterboxd or whatever has like 20 to 30 paragraphs. I think there's a show that's coming up where one option was 10 paragraphs and another option was 40 paragraphs.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't want to read 40 paragraphs, so we're not doing that one. Because like The Innocent, the problem I had was every single synopsis for The Innocent was either a paragraph to 2. But like for movies that are popular, also, I'm wrong. For IMDb for Annie, it's 1 giant paragraph. So the person wrote everything, but they just wrote it in 1 giant stanza and didn't break anything up. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that to Miri. I'm going to do one that actually has broken up paragraphs. And that's easy. But yeah, so Annie comes back and Miss Hannigan is a monster and puts her in the timeout closet, which is crazy to me. Because I'm assuming it's the 30s and there's not AC, so this girl's just out here sweating up a storm. So then Grace Farrell comes, and she's secretary to Rich Man. And she's like, oh, Rich Man wants a kid for public image and publicity because, people don't think too highly of this billionaire. And Miss Hannigan's like, oh, what girl do you want, blah, blah, blah. And Annie's in the closet in the room. So whenever Grace is asking what kind of girl, or is asked what kind of girl, Annie's like telling Grace the age to ask, the height,
shows her hair.
Yeah, all this stuff. And Miss Hannigan doesn't want Annie to go, but then like at the end, Grace chooses Annie. It's a big thing, and Annie goes to the mansion, and it is a culture shock for her because she came from an orphanage that says, "Oh, we hate you and tell me you love me and clean everything up," and there's a bully for some reason. And then there is a song, because it's a musical, where everyone's like, "Welcome, young girl, to the mansion." And everyone's real happy that she's there. First, they're surprised. They're surprised the dog's there and they're surprised the girl's there. But they're hyper surprised. And Annie, like an orphan, somebody's like, "Let me take your jacket." And she's like, "Will I get it back?" Because everything in her life was taken from her. So Annie's like, "Will I get it back?" They're like, "Yeah, we're just going to watch it. That's all." So, because Annie comes in dirty, mishmash clothes, all that stuff. So then they sing about how she's going to be catered to and everything's going to be well and food's going to be like this.
And even the people who are mopping are dancing.
Yes, they are. Every single servant of Oliver Warbucks is the most happy person to be a servant of this man. Then Punjab, not to be mean, does not look like an Indian man anyway. He looks like a normal black dude, and they just gave him a stereotypical name for a person. Because most people in this movie are white. We're just gonna be real. So the one dark-skinned guy is named Punjab, and that's it.
So there's this one part we're gonna get to eventually towards the end of the synopsis, obviously. When I walked in, okay, well, I didn't walk in. I don't know why I said that, but when I was like
when I Purple Rose of Cairo style went into the movie.
When I first saw this, there was a scene where Punjab was rescuing Annie from a tower, and the preview made it look like the way how Punjab talked to her made it sound like they had a really good history.
They do have a good history.
Like, a lot of stuff happened between them.
Yeah.
When I watched the movie and I got to that scene, they only had like 4 interactions.
That's not true. Punjab, Sandy was barking. Punjab had him lie down, so he stopped barking. Punjab danced with Grace when Grace was like, "We're gonna get a kid today." Dun, 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 dun. And then
Annie.
Yeah, and then Punjab, Sandy was barking when Mr. Warbucks, I almost called him Daddy Warbucks, when Daddy Warbucks was on the phone, and Punjab and another man beat up the terrorist who threw a bomb into the thing, a cartoon bomb. So that's 3 interactions, and then I think Punjab might have driven them to the movie.
When they went to announce Annie's parents.
Oh yeah, on the radio.
The radio guy, I think he tried touching Annie or something. And
no, I think he tried to touch Daddy Warbucks first.
And then Punjab went boom.
Yeah, and knocked him out. Yeah. But yeah, they have some interactions, but most of the interactions probably are Punjab being like, "I'm going to teach you some self-defense," and then some other, and then like doing little tricks to make it. Because I think there's one time when like Punjab is like playing like with a toy plane with her,
and then like Daddy Warbucks is like, "Don't encourage her," so he like he has like telekinesis powers or something. I don't know.
Hey man, he's one of those mythical dark-skinned people with powers, and then when they go to because like there's a lot of stuff that happens. Like, she comes in there, Warbucks is like, "I don't want this, I want a boy." And then Annie, like, convinces him. But after, Annie's like, "Hey, it's okay. Like, it's pretty neat to be here, but you don't want me." So then, like, she doesn't guilt him, but she's legit earnestly like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'll go back as soon as possible, like a week, blah, blah, blah." And Grace, like, is like, "Hey, let her stay for a week at least." So, like, he gets convinced. Annie brightens Oliver's life in every step of the way, and I don't get how he didn't notice it until someone pointed it out, but like Annie just brings happiness to this man's life, and it makes me laugh thinking about it. But like, the dog gets cleaned, Annie gets cleaned, they get new clothes, all this stuff happens. Annie doesn't trust the adults, so she doesn't want to give up any of her stuff. I have a thought during the first mansion dance scene where I'm like, how long did they rehearse this? And did Oliver Warbucks look at his staff and say, "Hey, You guys better be on your P's and Q's. When I come inside, I better hear a musical. I better see choreographed dance move. I better see all of it. And I was like, that's kind of wild. Like, you are a billionaire. You could pay people to just sing whenever you walk into the room. But that sounds crazy. And then, like, Warbucks is like, I don't know if I want all this stuff. There's a person that falls down the stairs during the number where they're going up the stairs.
There's a butler.
Yeah, and Annie stops and picks up the butler and is like, look at that. We're seeing her heart of gold. This big mansion isn't going to change Annie. And technically, it definitely doesn't. Annie getting money or being in a lap of luxury doesn't change Annie's demeanor for 5 seconds.
She's still a kid.
Yeah, man. Then a quote from Do Go On comes on where I think Dave was saying how he thinks of this whenever Matt says, he's like, why do I smell wet dog? They're like, yeah, it's because it's a wet dog. But also, the next song in the movie is Miss Hannigan. She's in her bathroom. She's really sad, and she's listening to like a man's voice on the radio, and she's like kissing the radio. And she's like, literally, it's just a song about how she's lonely and sad, and she wished she had a man. So we literally see, hey, Annie is hopeful. Oh, hey, because we're orphans, stuff sucks. Miss Hannigan tries to keep her from being adopted. Miss Hannigan's like, I want to be at a billionaire house. And then
the girls make fun of her.
They have every right to.
They make fun of her. And that's when I found out she had the bottle of the bathtub of
alcohol. Yeah, man.
Where do you shower? Do you shower in that?
I don't know. I don't know if showers were commonplace in the 30s. And then...
That's where all her money's going on in that shower.
You mean the alcohol?
Warbucks reveals his plans to Annie, even offering her new locket, but she declines. She explains that the purpose of the broken locket and her hope that her parents will return with the other half. Warbucks appears on Bert Healy's... Is it Healy's? Yeah, Healy's radio show and offers $50,000 to find Annie's parents. This causes mass hysteria, with many would-be parents appearing to claim the money. To escape the madness, Warbucks flies Annie to White House in Washington, D.C., including introducing her to President Franklin D. Roosevelt with his wife, Eleanor. That was supposed to be Roosevelt?
Yeah.
Okay. Roosevelt informs them of his plan to introduce a social welfare program to help America's impoverished and asks Warbucks to head it. Annie encourages him to help. Upon returning home, Annie is disheartened when Grace reveals none of the potential parents knew about the locket.
Well, here's the problem with this.
Hold on. Before this, when Grace is trying to convince Daddy Warbucks over here, to, hey, like, you like Annie, you should adopt her. He is like, no, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no. And then there's this one part because I honestly, I didn't know if this is what made them be like, oh, I think I like them. Like, I think I like Mr. Warbucks. I think I like Grace. But they're going back and forth about adopting Annie. And Grace even says, well, you can adopt her. I'll take care of her, right? Because that's how much, like, Grace likes Annie. And Mr. Warbucks then tells her, I don't know, low-key, it's like awkwardly flirting
with Grace,
yeah, because then he, like, I forgot what happened before this, but he just goes, Miss Grace, and she's like, yeah, and, like, mind you, she's like in a really pretty, like, yellow sundress with, like, a little scar, which she looks like a snack, right? And he tells her, like, Miss Grace, you have a gap in your teeth. And then she goes like, oh, well, I'll get it fixed. And he goes like, no, I like it. And she's like, oh, well, thank you. And then she's been, like, talking back to him about, like, wanting to adopt Annie. And that's why I told him, I was like, honestly, like, the fact that, like, when she's getting mad at him and stuff, he goes like, oh, Miss Grace, like, you look very attractive when you're angry.
What an 80s movie line. But also, because the synopsis already got to this. So after Annie's like, hey, Miss Grace or Miss Farrow likes you a lot, he starts flirting more. But the synopsis didn't get to what's the thing we talked about earlier, where there is a man outside the balcony wearing all black, and he throws a cartoon bomb in the room, and like the dog barks at him, and like I think does someone kick the bomb back at him or something? Something happened with the bomb, but something comically happens with the bomb, and then like Punjab and another man go outside, and they just whoop upon this man, just like punch him and kick him, and the man can't get away because every night Mr. Warbucks sits in his office and like dictates things to people, like about trade and this and that. So in the movie, there are like 2 or 3 scenes where Annie's playing in the office and whatever. And like in the beginning, Oliver is like, I don't like that, get her out of here. But then like he starts getting used to Annie being around. And then that happens where like they have to stop a terrorist. And Annie doesn't stop playing in the office. It's just they're like, hey, whatever.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, man, she doesn't stop playing in the office. She just goes back. But then also, there is a part where Annie's like, I've never seen a movie. And she wants to go with, you know, her new father figure. And Warbucks is like, I can't take the night off. I'm like, my man, you're talking into phones. You're telling me not another person can talk into phones? That's crazy. You can't write down what the... Okay, you got me. So then Annie uses orphan guilt, and it's super effective on her new father figure. And then they go to the movies. And like when they go to... Was it Radio City? Yeah, when they go to
Radio City.
Yeah, when they go to the Radio City Music Hall.
Listen,
it's literally it's let's go to the movies as a song, but like it starts at the mansion. One of the maids gets the night off, and she dashes away from her job, and then the staff at the movie theater continue the song like they are like every service worker in this movie, the hive mind of music and choreography.
Listen,
but it's a phenomenal musical scene.
When I saw Let's Go See a Movie thing, I was just like, this isn't a movie. You're literally watching people dance. It's not a movie. And then the song ended, and then the movie started.
Yeah.
And the movie was... I kind of want to watch that movie if it's real.
It is.
Because it just...
I think Camille is an actual 30s movie. So, like, they got an actual 30s movie to play during the movie set in the 30s. But yeah, Camille's an actual movie.
It looks so good.
Because I looked up. And after I was like, I wonder if this movie's real, and it is real. But yeah, no, Camille's a real movie.
It looks so dramatic and so tearjerker, and it just seemed like I really want to watch it just to see what it's about.
Do you know how popular this movie is? They made a remake of Camille in '84 after this movie came out. Because this movie came out in '82, so 2 years later, like after production and stuff, they made another remake of Camille because Camille was so popular being seen in Annie. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. Might watch that then.
2 things. One, the lady who plays in Camille in the 30s, her name is Greta Garbo. That's her real name. Whenever I think of Garbo, I think of Garbo Man. That's
Garbage Day.
The guy Michael from Rooster Teeth, which does not exist anymore. But he has a character named I think it's Garbo Man, and he's like it's a giant trash bag with googly eyes. So when I heard Greta Garbo, I just think of Garbo Man's wife is Greta Garbo. Which means Garbo Man is not his first name, but his last name. 2, the line that he says to Miss Farrell, because I wrote it down, is, "You're awfully pretty when you argue with me."
Her name is Farrell?
Yeah, Grace Farrell. Like Will Ferrell.
I was like, I've been saying Grace, and I'm like, dang, it's another Sandy, huh?
But yeah, it's great. But no, it's Grace Farrell, yeah. But he calls her Miss Farrell until Annie comes around. He starts calling her Grace more often. Yeah.
Okay, I thought I was saying the wrong name. I was like, I don't even know who Grace is. He said Farrell. I'm like, oh, well, I don't know where Grace came out of. When it talks about how, you know, when they got back from seeing... But that's another thing, too. When they went to go see, which I didn't realize they were trying to, like, you know, Roosevelt and his wife.
Oh, yeah, just a president in a wheelchair. Name another president in a wheelchair, please.
I didn't even know they were at the White House.
What do you mean?
I didn't know.
They flew that death copter, and they had a White House establishment.
I didn't even know. I mean, I kind of did think, like, oh, like, it looked kind of whatever.
That copter made me worried that someone's gonna pick somebody up too high and get cut in blades.
So when they were there, that's where they also sang "Tomorrow" again, because they was like, this is a song, because Annie was like, oh, this is a song that makes us look for the next day, you know, just till it gets better. And the part that I felt was with Eleanor was when, you know, Daddy Warbucks over here starts singing, and then I guess the president starts singing.
Well, no. What happened is Annie is singing by herself, and then the president, after listening to Annie sing a few lines by herself, tells everyone else to join in, and his wife
Eleanor's like, I can't sing. Same, girl, same.
Yeah, But yeah, and then he's like, whatever. And then they all sang pretty well for a person who can't sing.
The most realistic thing that ever happened in that movie was sing, and she was like, I can't sing.
Don't worry, she still sung really well.
It's just me, yeah.
Hey, man.
So there's that, and then when she comes back, you know, and she's like very upset about the locket and stuff, you find out. Does it say on here? His girlfriend. Oh, it's his girlfriend. Oh, okay. You find out that obviously, like, people are still, they're not being very honest about it, and like, you know, they only want to get Annie only because of the money, right? When they're at the radio
at the radio station, yeah.
The radio station. There's this one part where like Annie's just standing there, and she's just like, oh my gosh, somebody.
Well, because like TV is a big deal, but so is radio in the 30s, and Annie's gonna be a part of a radio commercial.
Yeah, so she looks really excited. I don't know what happens exactly, but I just know there's this one part where like I think Annie was gonna run up to something, and then one of the people try to grab Annie. The PA, yeah, the PA try to grab Annie, and then you just hear pajab go boom.
Yeah, it just chops him.
Chops the guy.
No, cause what happens is, Annie tells Warbucks, because Warbucks gets her a new locket. He's like, you're part of my family now. And she's like, I don't want to give up on my family because, like, they left a note saying they are going to come back for me. Which I'm like,
okay, in the next paragraph, I have so many questions on that.
But, like, they left a note. And Warbucks is sad because he wants Annie to be his daughter now. And then, he chooses, okay, if you want to find your parents, we're finding your parents, Annie. So he goes to the radio station. He's terrible at ad reads because he reads all the stage direction aloud.
He sure does.
And so they read stuff, and Annie like butts in. And
somebody has a puppet, which is kind of creepy.
The main guy talking has a puppet.
That's kind of weird in my opinion, but whatever.
But so they do that stuff. They do all that. They read the ad read. And then Daddy Warbucks is like, $50,000 for the children for the parents of this child.
Turn page.
Yeah, he does. And then, like, the people, well, not the singers don't care. The PA cares because people keep, like, butting in and talking when they're not supposed to, and then Punjab, like, knocks them out with a hit. But the PA gets up faster than the terrorist man does. PA gets up so fast to do it, to like, cover Daddy Warbucks' mother. He's trying to talk, and then he gets chopped again and falls down, but then he's up again. So the PA, either Punjab's holding back, or the PA's like, hey, no, I got a job to do, none of this stand down stuff. And then...
Mom didn't raise no whips.
And then...
My muscles are hard.
I work with bad actors all the time. You think this being hit's gonna stop me? But then, so then there are...
Great Depression, man.
Yeah, there are waves...
I got bills I need to pay.
Yeah, there are waves and waves of people coming to the Warbucks estate because he gives out his address, and they're like, hey, I'm Annie's parents, and they are all liars for $50,000.
Sorry. I'm not having a panic attack for those in the background. It's just...
It sounds like I'm talking, and in the background you're trying to struggle to get some air. It's like that one picture where it's a meme now where a lady's taking a picture and they're like, I think your brother's drowning in the back, and she's like, this picture is not about him. That's what it feels like. I'm talking about the movie and you're like, but I'm like, I'm happy you're not. That would make me feel so terrible.
It's just because I don't like laughing this loud, but just the fact how he's right, the guy did get up so quick.
Yeah. Every time. He got chopped and he got right back up to cover someone else's mouth. Like he didn't learn from the first time not to get chopped.
My man was like, I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah.
I can't.
Hannigan is visited by her con artist brother Rooster and his girlfriend Lily St. Regis. They plot to pose as Annie's parents to gain the reward. The trio searches the orphan's belongings, and Hannigan reveals that Annie's real parents were killed in a fire when Annie was a baby. No, you're fine. Would you like some water? No. Hannigan herself possesses the other half of the locket, which was shocking to me.
Okay, so here... I'm not supposed to be like... Here's the thing. Annie says she has a letter that she has from her family, so they're gonna come back. Sorry guys, gotta take a quick break. So the letter involves that, you know, she specified to Daddy Warbucks that she had a letter that her parents were going to come back and get her, which is why she has half the locket. You find out with Miss Hannigan and her brother when they're trying to be like, oh, we're gonna lie to Daddy Warbucks, and Hannigan has the other half of the locket. The question pops up is, who gave Annie the letter that her parents were gonna come back? Like,
well, Anakin could have told her. Why wouldn't Hannigan be like, hey, you dumb hopeful kid, your parents are gonna come back, be hopeful. Yeah, they're gonna come back, because Hannigan knows they're dead. So why wouldn't Hannigan throw that in her face?
Also, why would Hannigan keep her stuff from her parents?
Now that's a question I asked. Because Hannigan doesn't like this girl. Yeah, that's so Hannigan should have thrown that stuff away and been like,
and the fact that, like, and also the other thing I wanted to point out earlier too was when Grace was up there like trying to like being like, oh, I want Annie, like Hannigan was really against it. Yeah. Like, why didn't Hannigan want Annie to be adopted?
Well, more than that. Because Hannigan says it in her I Wish I Had a Man song. She thinks Annie is really lucky to be in the billionaire's house, and she's stuck in the orphanage watching these little girls. So legit, she just thinks Annie isn't deserving of good stuff. So she's like, no, she shouldn't be the one chosen for that thing.
Let me tell you something. That sounds like poor life choices for her.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
once again, as I said earlier in this podcast, if she ran a good orphanage, not only would she have more money, not only would there be more people around, because like you're not gonna tell me there's one.
That's the other thing. She's pretty like the cop. The cop was like all over her pansy too, bro. Like, yeah. He pretty sure if he didn't do it with her, she definitely did with Mr. Bundles. But I feel like with Mr. Weasel over here, he was trying to weasel his way in her. But
I'm thinking of Pauly Shore and the Weasel. That's not helpful because you don't know who Pauly Shore is. The trio searches the orphan's belongings, and Hannigan reveals that Annie's real parents were killed in a fire when Annie was a baby. Hannigan herself possesses the other half of the locket, which, as Miri said, she should have thrown away. Why would she care?
That means Annie has been with her since she was a baby?
Well, yeah, remember in the song, after she sings Tomorrow, she's like, oh yeah, my folks left me on the doorstep when I was a baby, and they said they wrote in the letter they'd come back for me. And I'm like, that's a wild thing. Can you do that? I know maybe now, not nowadays, but you telling me, like, you can just be like, hey, I'm back for my kid. I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. Even in the 30s, I don't think that's how it works. Hannigan possesses the other half of the locket. Annie's friends overhear the conversation and try sneaking out, but are discovered and locked away. Don't worry, these kids then build like a human ladder after knocking over a bookshelf, break the venting, and then they escape, and they are on the streets of New York at night. Which once again, during the day, Weasel is out and catches Annie in like the first 20 minutes being out. At night, I'm guessing cops don't work, I guess. So the girls are in a giant group trying to figure out where Daddy Warbucks lives and whatever. And like they just
only two of them seem to know how to count.
Yeah, and they just be bopping around. Well, Hannigan's not teaching them anything.
No, because like I think it's like Warbucks is like 100 and something.
Yeah.
And then they're like on 90. They're like on 20 or something. Mm-hmm. And there's like, oh no, there's one like, oh goodness, oh me, what is it? Oh my lord, oh my lord.
I don't remember because I got frustrated because New York is a grid system.
It was the start of a grid system.
It did. New York started as a grid system, so like legit, I'm like, hey, if one person knows how to count, if you're going to 100 and you're at 20, you go 80 blocks over. That's not fun. It's 80 blocks, but it's still like that's how it works. It's a grid system. Rooster and Lily succeed with the ruse, which no one at the house wants them to succeed. They all want to keep Annie. And everyone gets real sad when Annie's like, I'm going to go pack. My parents are here.
Which even then, like, they look sus.
Yeah, they do.
Like, they don't even look like they want to be there. They look sus as hell.
Well, that, and also, neither one of them really are redheads. They might have a disguise on, but I'm like, you guys don't look like Annie. Like, you guys don't look like an amalgamation of Annie's, like, facial features, even. You don't have the same eyes, you don't have the same nose, you don't have the same chin. Like, none of that stuff. And it's so strange to me.
If I were Daddy Warbucks, who was the one that said, oh, we don't need it? He was like, oh, then you don't want it?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then would take the check away. And then who was it? Was it the dad? Was it the guy? Was it Rooster or was it the girlfriend?
I believe it was Rooster.
that was like, oh no, sir, we don't think we're gonna need it for her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the scene cuts to Grace and Annie, how they're talking, and like Annie's like, Grace is like, oh, you sure you don't want to take any of this, like all these dresses and like boys and stuff, and she's like, no. And Annie, like very like a child, like a sweet child, she's like, oh, this dress will be good for like this girl and this, then like basically saying like these dresses will go for the orphanage, and how each one she thinks for a specific like friend of her in the orphanage. And it's just like, wow, it's just cute.
Yeah, man.
Really cute.
Like
She's
I said,
child.
like I said before, Annie didn't let this rich stuff go to her head. She's still a nice, loving, caring person.
Yeah, and then she even said that she didn't want to take the clothes with her because, like, she's like, my parents are poor.
Yeah, they'll feel bad they can't buy me stuff like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rooster and Lily succeed with the ruse, and I find it goofy because this is like a 3-person car, and Miss Hannigan's like waiting down the road, and so it's just 3 adults, and like they shove into this car. And Annie's yelling out for help, and like they're covering her mouth as they drive off.
Oh, and the dog is with them. Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy's in the trailer bit.
The truck.
Yeah.
Truck.
No, twuck.
Tuck.
So they succeed with the ruse, and Annie's departure from Warbucks' estate is somber. She is kidnapped minutes after. She's kidnapped when she gets in the car with the strangers, but she's kidnapped minutes after they leave the mansion. But her friends, having managed to escape, ultimately reach Warbucks and tell him the truth. Shocked and stunned, he informs the police, and they begin a citywide search. And it is wild because I thought, this is just me because I haven't seen this movie in years.
I haven't watched this movie at all, by the way.
I thought the girls would get there like they would be like, this is the locket, blah blah blah. Hey, this is our daughter, and like as Annie's packing. Annie's upstairs, and like she's coming downstairs with like a thing of luggage. So I assumed that's when the girls burst in the gate, like, "Yay, Miss Hannigan's out there!" Because like I would say, let's say they see Hannigan or the old lady disguise, and Hannigan tries to stop one of them, but then like they're a bunch of girls, and they like push her down. It's like, you're old, and then they run in there. They run in there and like, hey, it's a trap, a ruse even, and then like Rooster like maybe steals the check. I don't think Oliver would chase him for $50,000, but then I do think he would chase him because, oh hey, you lied and tried to take Annie from me. So I thought that's what happened. It would be like a thing of like, this criminal stole money from me, but also he tried to like kidnap this young girl. But no, the criminals kidnapped the young girl. they escape with the young girl, and it's crazy because then they come to the house and they're like, hey, Annie's in danger. You gotta get Annie. And I'm just like, yo, What
does Mr. Warbucks say when he finds out? He says some funny word that I can't think about it to save my life right now.
Let's see if I wrote down my notes, because I don't think I did.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
I believe so. It's not leaving lizards. It might be. Yeah, because that's the thing that Annie says. So like it's literally showing how Annie has changed his life. So he's like talking like her.
Yeah, I think he goes, leaping lizards.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And then like he gets everybody, and the cops drive down the street en masse.
Punjab, right? Punjab, yeah. Punjab takes the helicopter with
the autocopter.
Mm-hmm. Grace in the car with Daddy Warbucks, and then you have like cop cars like all over the place, like which is crazy. Sorry,
I'm laughing also because I have on a note. Grace and Oliver are driving so fast on the green screen.
So they get Annie, and the thing is though, like I feel like they could have successfully convinced it they could have like taken Annie, right? They could have taken Annie, and they could have just taken her back to Miss Hannigan.
Yeah.
I don't think Miss Hannigan had to join them at the estate of Daddy Warbucks.
I think they're going to cash the check and disappear.
Well, they could have just cashed the check, dropped her back off at the orphanage.
Well, they could have, but this is going to be double wild, too. I don't think Hannigan wanted to go back anywhere near that orphanage, and she also didn't trust her brother to not cash that check and disappear and not give her part of the take. So she's like, no, we're staying together until this check is cashed, and we're doing this together because we're not doing any of this rigmarole with you, Rooster, where you take the money and run off.
He also got out. Yeah, he came by the first time, but I think the first time he came to her first too.
Yes.
But was to ask her for money, which
it was asking her for money. It was like $10, and then he robbed her.
Yeah, he was just like, But yeah, so there's that, and they end up like the reason why The reason why, like, the situation got really bad, where I was just like, I feel like Punjab,
yeah.
Punjab. I feel like they had a much deeper connection, was because Annie rips the check, like she rips
in their face,
their face, yeah, and Rooster gets upset, and
understatement.
Yeah, he gets furious.
Yes,
he is livid. And so he starts chasing after her, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." And so,
I'm gonna kill this young girl over money that's not mine in the first place.
Yeah,
this is not his money.
She rips the check, she drops it down, because she was like, hey, like, you already got me, like, that's fine. She was like, but you're not going to have Daddy Warbucks money. So she rips the check, she drops it on the floor. The girlfriend is like, oh no, the check.
And she's on her knees crying in the dirt over the check that's torn up.
Yeah, and then, mind you, Rooster's chasing after Annie, and then Miss Hannigan is chasing after Rooster, like, oh my gosh, he's actually going to kill her. And so Rooster's chasing after Annie, Hannigan is chasing after Rooster, and she goes like, don't do it, Rooster, she's just a child, like, she's a baby, because she's a child.
She is.
And so somehow the scene goes to where, like, it's on a train track, but on the train track there's like a tower, tower looking thing.
Oh, no. It's a train track, but it's over water, so the bridge is up. So in case boats come by at night, the boats can come by.
I didn't even realize it was on water.
Yeah,
all I saw was there was a tower.
But yeah, the train, it is train tracks, but it's on a lifted bridge. So Annie's climbing up like a ladder. Also, you're missing because I really love the idea of you being like, why is there a tower in the middle of the city for this musical?
It was a long day when I watched this movie.
But like Rooster just he doesn't slap his sister, he doesn't backhand her. He punches his sister in the face like, I'm gonna kill this kid. Punch. I'm like, oh, usually men in these movies do backhands or slaps or whatever. He fully just punches his sister in the face. And I'm like, oh, my first thought was, is this Hannigan's redemption? Is Miss Hannigan redeemed? Because she's like, not to be mean, she doesn't stop Rooster. She says, Rooster, don't hurt her, she's a child, and then gets punched in the face. And I'm like, this is just me personally. I do believe that is a change of heart from what we've seen from Miss Hannigan the entirety of this movie. That I cannot argue with. It is a full change of heart from what we've seen this entire movie. But this lady definitely is like, hey, you hopeful? It's clean. Hey, you want to try to escape again? Eat cold mush.
I told you your parents are going to come back. Yeah. Your parents are dead, Annie.
Yeah, right? I'm like...
You're going to keep waiting until you're 18.
Yeah, right? Like, not to be mean, I'm like, it is very nice of Miss Hannigan to be like, yo, don't try to kill this kid. But Miss Hannigan lied to a kid, forced hope on this kid that they didn't have, and then kidnapped this child after robbing their benefactor. Miss Hannigan has a lot more redeeming to do, but I'm guessing...
a good punch in the face right now.
In this movie, that's what's enough. That's what's enough. And she's like, don't do it. And that's redemption for her.
Oh, man. So, Annie convinces the felons to pull over... Oh, sorry, we got ahead of us. Annie convinces the felons to pull over only to escape the destroy Warbucks check. Outraged, Rooster chases Annie up the raised drawbridge, intending to kill her. Hannigan attempts to stop him, but is knocked unconscious.
Is punched unconscious by her brother.
Punjab arrives at the helicopter and rescues Annie. Rooster and Lily are arrested, and Annie is adopted by Grace and Warbucks.
But it's an autocopter because like Warbucks talks about it when he goes to the president, where it's like a car, but it has helicopter blades, so it's like it's faster, takes less gas, and like it can go around easier and get places that other helicopters can't typically. And as I said when I first saw it, these blades seem too close to Annie's childhood. I don't like this. But yeah, so they fly around they drive on a green screen, they fly on a green screen. Punjab sees her hanging off of a bridge, and Rooster's like, yeah. So then Punjab like chops him, grabs Annie. Rooster slides down safely because they're at the top of the drawbridge.
It's the very top.
Yeah,
like not even like the beginning. It's like the very top.
Yeah. So Tim Curry slides all the way down. I'm like, hey, are his legs broken or something? Nah, he's just arrested. Which he should be. He definitely lied to a billionaire, stole his money, kidnapped the kid. But I'm like, yo, like, my man slid like 4 stories and landed on his feet. That's broken legs. Something, but nah, it's just we do that. Yeah.
he just fell on the like little stretchy thingy circles.
Yeah, the firemen are there, so you're right. He didn't just fall 40 feet to the ground.
No, he fell, and then he fell on that stretcher thing.
Yeah. They have like the stretch trampoline for firefighters when people jump out of buildings, and then the cop gets him. He's like, "You're a criminal, gotcha."
And then Miss Hannigan punches him.
Yeah,
but she like hits him, like whacks him really good with her purse, which is probably her second redemption right there.
I know I lied to you, and I know I was going to kidnap you and take this money. But I hit this man for you. I'm like, okay, thanks, Miss Hannigan.
Don't worry, she's at the end of the movie too.
She is.
Like all dressed up and stuff too.
Because it even says it. At the party at the orphans, deemed Hannigan and the Roosevelts attend, Warbucks gives Annie the new locket as they embrace. And they sang this, like literally, Oliver's house, the backyard is just a giant party, and you see all the orphan girls. I don't know if they get adopted. They could because he's a billionaire. But like, but the thing is, where are they gonna go? Because Hannigan could still be the lady over the orphanage, but like Hannigan's there because she's redeemed because she tried to stop her brother. Grace and Oliver are there, and Oliver's dancing, singing with Annie.
And they're together now, by the way. Oliver and Grace.
Yeah, and then like you see Sandy Clean, you see Mr. Bundles, you see everyone there, and they're like, "Hey, Annie got adopted. Everything's going good." And then at the end of the singing or whatever, there's just a giant thing of fireworks, and it's like, "Oh, the movie's over," and it's really cool. But it just makes me feel like, yo, man, like, there's some unresolved. For me as a kid, I'll be like, "Hey, Miss Hannigan, I'm glad you stopped that man." But yo, we got something to talk about. We have something to talk about, Miss Hannigan. There's a problem. You tried to rob my now father. Why did you try to rob my father, bro? And
the thing is, if Warbucks was very well aware, he just let her come back.
Yeah, man, she got redeemed. She punched the man. She punched him. That's good enough. Now, how much do you think this movie costs to make?
$4 million.
It costs $50 million to make.
That's not close.
It's not. How much do you think it made?
So how much did you say it cost?
It cost $50 million.
$3 billion. I don't know.
$3 billion? That'll be the highest movie ever.
$50 million.
So you think it cost 50? Well, you know it cost $50 million, but you think it made $50 million straight?
I don't know, man.
$61 million. So the movie technically is not a success because what you're supposed to do when you come with budget and box office, you're supposed to go up budget and then you're supposed to times it by 2 for advertisements and all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. So technically, this movie isn't a success, but I don't know. Once again, maybe in the 80s they didn't think they had to advertise Annie as much, so maybe this movie made just enough money. But yeah, technically it didn't make twice as much, but yeah, but it made more. It made $11 million more than it cost. So now some fun facts for this movie.
Oh man.
Eileen Quinn had dog food rubbed on her face to make Sandy the dog kiss Annie.
One more time?
Eileen Quinn had dog food rubbed on her face to make Sandy the dog kiss Annie.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay.
Auditions for the title role spanned 2 years, 22 cities, 8,000 interviews, and 70 actresses. 9 young actresses made it to the second round.
Only 9 in 2 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Only 9 of these people were even considered for the second step of being like, "You're close, you're almost Annie."
Hey, I would take pride. I didn't get selected, but I made it to the second step.
Despite being the 10th biggest grossing movie of 1982, it didn't make a profit because of its exorbitant production costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
2 years to pick people? Hell yeah. Ugh.
Drew Barrymore auditioned for the title role. She did not get it. Surprise, surprise.
Who was she?
The title role is Annie. Drew Barrymore is a famous actor. She played in Never Been Kissed. Played in E.T. We've watched E.T. She's the young daughter in E.T.
Oh.
She played in Charlie's Angels.
Didn't know that. I didn't know the kid's name.
It's in the credits. Also, she has her own talk show no one watches. In the play, Grace Farrell brought the adoption papers to the orphanage. After the movie script had Oliver Daddy Warbucks do it, Carol Burnett and Albert Finney lobbied the songwriters for a song to sing together to flesh out the only meeting between Warbucks and Hannigan. Their duet, Sign, was written in 2 days, which I think Signs are very good. For Grease, lots of the middle songs kind of go past me. I remember the British School Dropout because I like that one. And then I remember the one, is it Hopelessly Devoted? The one at the sleepover. But even like when you read the fun facts on Grease, the Hopelessly Devoted was added in post production. That movie wasn't written for the movie. They wrote it afterwards. And I'm like, oh yeah, because you need more songs in this musical. So I was like, and also I like the song sign with Warbucks and Hannigan singing together, because Warbucks is like, hey, this man thing, sign the papers. I want to have Annie as my kid.
It kind of reminds me of like those. There's a specific scene I'm thinking about, but I don't know where it's from. And it's basically where like you are not competing, but you're literally fighting with each other.
Yeah.
Where like he's saying like, hey, I want this, and he's like, but I'm gonna ruin you with this. And like there's another movie I think about, or musical I think about, but I haven't watched it in a very, very long time, so I don't even know what scene I'm talking about.
Is it the scene of Baby It's Cold Outside from Neptune's Daughter, where he tries to convince her to stay?
I've never seen that one, so okay. No, it's not that one. if I think about it, I'll send it to you.
I do also love how my brain is like, is it this musical? For a man who's like, musicals are okay. I have lots of knowledge about musicals I haven't watched for a long time. Albert Finney, who played Daddy Warbucks, shaved his head to play Oliver Warbucks. When she met him at the movie's premiere, Eileen Quinn didn't recognize him at first because his hair had grown back.
Oh. Did she cry?
No, I don't know. It's not in the fun facts. Fun fact just says, hey, I met this man bald, because I thought he wore a bald cap.
No, that was not a bald cap.
Well, I know, but like now I know. But like when I first saw his picture, he has a beautiful, luscious head of hair. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, maybe he wore a bald cap. It's like Cesar Romero when he played Joker in Batman, where he's like, I'm not shaving my mustache, so he just like put paint over the mustache. Mm-hmm. So I thought maybe my man just wore a bald cap, because once again, I don't know many Albert Finney movies, but I'm just like, if that's in your character headshots or whatever, I'm probably gonna keep the hair. So when I saw that, I was like, man, that must be crazy to have been on set with a band for 2 or 3 months. And then come back and you see him like, who's this man?
Who that?
You have the face of a person I know.
Who that?
Like, you have a face of a person I know, but you're not the person I know. So now we get to the fun part of the podcast. Would you recommend this?
Yes. I actually recommend this to my sister. She's not really big into musicals, but I think she would like this because of the wholeheartedness and like the comedy of it.
I would recommend Annie. I think Annie's a phenomenal movie. The only thing I probably would say to somebody is I would have to tell them it's a musical. Yeah. Because I don't think musicals are for everyone. I enjoy musicals personally, but I don't think everyone's like, you know what I really want? I want to hear a person break in a song every time they have an emotion song. So, but I think Annie's a phenomenal musical.
Okay, listen. We've already seen Hamilton, but Hamilton, every song,
what's Hamilton about?
Every time Hamilton felt something, he broke in song.
I hate to burst your bubble there. Hamilton is actively a musical where there's no dialogue; it's all singing.
No, that's true, but
yeah, so you're saying he broke in the song the entire time? That's how the play is written.
I'm thinking about a different one. Yeah. No, but like all his because technically it just to show like everything he said was like he felt a way about it.
Yeah, typically, yeah, man.
And everybody felt a way about him. So.
And that's the end of our show. Next week we'll be watching Terms of Endearment. I can't wait to get this movie. Miri, do you know anything about this film?
No, but I will let you guys know now. I cried.
Wait, so you don't know about this movie, but you cried?
I don't know, no, because watched it already. But when I first watched when I first heard of the movie, I was just like, oh man, it's gonna be dramatic. And that was it.
It is. It's very, yeah.
Yeah, and then I watched it, and then I was just
crying.
Terms of
Endearment. Yeah, man,
and
definitely.
I was just crying at the end, and I was like,
well, I can't wait to talk about it with you, because I
have a lot of comments.
There's a lot. Once again, I expect you to talk like the innocent on this one.
Okay, there wasn't that much audacity in it. Okay,
there wasn't. It was just
there was some audacity.
Well, it was just humans making bad decisions.
Yeah, but it wasn't like the innocent where like Tullio over here was just like audacity after audacity after audacity. Like again, when my mom heard that one and she asked like she was why I was so upset, and I was like, Mom. I tell her this again. I'm like, if you're listening to this, Mom, I'm going to tell you the same thing. If you look at the dictionary and you look up audacity, Tullio's face will be in there. Like, this man had not enough of it, apparently. But anyways,
Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram, and rate us 5 stars. Share us with whoever listening. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.
Bye.